Last time we talked about actor-focused verbs. Today we're going to talk about object-focused verbs. These are used a ton in normal conversation, and so these will be very important. Today we will talk about two types of object-focused verbs. First, we'll talk about IN verbs. Here on the screen you can see how to conjugate IN verbs. Just like with mug and verbs, you can make the verb a command, like you're commanding someone to do it, past tense, like it already happened, present tense, like it's happening right now, or future tense, like it will happen in the future. I'll show you how to do it. The command form is created by putting "-in" or "-heen" on the end of the root. Root "-in". Past tense is created by inserting "-in" in front of the first vowel, or if the root starts with a consonant, you'll put "-in" right after the first consonant. In, ut. Present tense is created by inserting "-in" before the first vowel, and then after you say the first vowel, you repeat the whole root. In, o, root. Future tense is created by duplicating the first syllable of the root and then adding "-in" or "-heen" at the end of the root. Root, "-in". I'll give you an example. We'll use the root gamit, which means to use. The command form would be gamit "-in", like you're telling someone to use something. Past tense, or used, would be in, amit. Present tense, or using, would be in, a, gamit. Future tense, or will use, would be gamit in. As you can see, the pattern for IN verbs is somewhat similar to that of verbs, with just a few modifications. In fact, you will find that many verb types use a conjugation pattern similar to this. Here are some common IN verb roots: tanong, bago, linis, tiis, basa, sabi, hanap, sikap, hintay, pili. Sagot, tapos, kain, tawag, pigil, gamit, bisita, kanta, wasak, alam, imbita, patay, abot, isip, kuha, bili, dala, gawa, sunod. You may recognize some of these verb roots from last week's video. Most verbs can be either actor-focused or object-focused, depending on what you want to do with the sentence. Let's practice conjugating a few of these. Tiis, tiisin, endure. Tiniis, endured. Tinitiis, enduring. Titiisin, will endure. Basa, basahin, read. Binasa, read. Binabasa, reading. Babasahin, will read. Sabi, sabihin, say. Sinabi, said. Sinasabi, saying. Sasabihin, will say. Sikap, sikapin, strive. Sinikap, strove. Sinisikap, striving. Sisikapin, will strive. Okay, now we're going to talk about I verbs. The conjugation for I verbs is very similar to IN verbs. Oh, and please note that in Tagalog, the letter I says E. The command form is created by putting E in front of the root. Root. Past tense is created by sticking E in front of the root and also inserting "-in" before the first vowel. In, ut. Present tense is created by sticking E in front of the root, inserting "-in" before the first vowel, and then after you say the first vowel, you will repeat the whole root. In, o, root. Future tense is created by sticking E in front of the root and duplicating the first syllable of the root. Root. Here is an example using the root sulat, which means to write. The command form is isulat, like you're telling someone to write. Past tense or wrote is in ulat. Present tense or writing is in sulat. Future tense is sulat. Here are some common I verb roots. Tanong, tayo, bigay, palit, handa, bahagi, turo, sulat, sara. Balik, utos, tatag, tigil, salin, tabi, hatid, buklod. Let's practice conjugating a few of these. Tayo, itayo, build. Itinayo, built. Itinatayo, building. Itatayo, will build. Bigay, ibigay, give. Ibinigay, gave. Ibinibigay, giving. Ibibigay, will give. Palit, ipalit, exchange. Ipinalit, exchanged. Ipinapalit, exchanging. Ipapalit, will exchange. Bahagi, ibahagi, share. Ibinahagi, shared. Ibinabahagi, sharing. Ibabahagi, will share. Now, with IN and I verbs, there are some exceptions, meaning that some verbs will not always follow the normal rules of conjugation. These include verbs like kuha, bili, dala, gawa, and sunod. It also includes verb roots beginning with L or H and verb roots that have O in the last syllable. We are not going to go into these in this video because I think it will just be too confusing. For now, just practice conjugating these verbs the way you would any regular I or IN verb. But just be aware that there are some verbs that are conjugated a little differently. And when you get into the MTC, just make sure your teachers explain the exceptions to you because they are important. Okay, now that we know how to conjugate IN and I verbs, let's try making sentences with them. Remember that these verbs are object focus, and remember that the object is the thing in the sentence that is verbed. For example, if I throw a ball, the ball is the object because it was thrown. When making sentences with object focus verbs, do it exactly the same as with actor focus verbs, except that the ong and nung switch places. Last time, we learned that with actor focus verbs, the actor is always an ong and the object is always a nung. Well, with object focus verbs, the object will always be an ong and the actor will always be a nung. If that is a little confusing, erase it from your mind and just remember that object focus means that the object is always an ong. If you flash back to last week, you'll remember that this means that it can either be an ong pronoun or it can be a noun with ong in front. Here is an example. We will translate the following sentence into Tagalog using both an actor-focused verb and an object-focused verb. I will read a book. The actor-focused form of read would be magbasa. So the translation would be magbabasa ako ng aklat. The object-focused form of read would be basahin. So the translation would be babasahin ko ang aklat. Did you notice how the actor in the first sentence was an ong pronoun, while the actor in the second sentence was a nung pronoun? And the object in the first sentence was a noun with a nung in front, while the object in the second sentence was a noun with ong in front. Now, if that was still confusing, just remember this formula. An object-focused verb plus a nung actor plus an ong object equals an object-focused sentence. Okay, let's practice making some sentences with IN verbs. She will eat the bread is kakain niya ang tinapay. I am calling them is tinatawag ko sila. The fire destroyed the rice is winasak ng apoy ang kanin. We, inclusive, invited the family is inimbita nating ang pamilya. Now let's try making some sentences with I verbs. They returned the key is ibinalik nila ang susi. We, exclusive, will escort you, plural, is ihahatid namin kayo. Set aside the food is itabi mo ang pagkain. He is building the house is itinatayo niya ang bahay. Tapos na. Kita-kits sa susunod. Ingat!